Hey everybody, it's Matt from the house. I'm here with Jayson from Burton, and he's going to run us through the men's park board ladder for the 22-23 season. Let's check these out. All right, first up, we've got the Good Company, which this board replaced the Kilroy Twin for this year, right?
Yep, direct replacement for that. Definitely coming in as, more of a unisex, park board. So
right.
We make a lot of sizes. We make this down to a 135, for that smaller rider, whether it's a female rider or younger kid. Just a really good, true twin, full cambered park model. Super soft, biax glass, but with a sintered base for,
Oh wow!
Yeah, good price at $340.
So nice and fast base, and then obviously an amazing graphic. And there is actually a mission binding with a high back that actually ties back to this thing too. That looks really, really good.
Yeah, you got the good boys on the bottom there with the dogs playing cards and stuff. So yeah, it's a killer board for the cash for sure.
All right, and then jumping up to 530, we've got the Name Dropper, mainly in the glass. We're getting a triaxle instead of a biaxle glass in this thing, but there's also a couple other things for this board as well, right?
Yeah, the Name Dropper, it was in a line. It's been a line for a while. Kind of went away last year. We brought it into the spring line, but it is a very unique board, and it's something that is, very unique to Burton as a whole. So we did bring it back, and we had some of our riders, like Jesse Augustinus. He's a killer rail rider. He's one of my favorite rail riders. He's on this board. So true twin. The bend is a little bit different. It is our pure pop, but it's cambered just between the bindings, and then it goes flat in the tips, so it's going to be a little bit more forgiving. One of the things you probably notice the most is it does have these pads underneath. So what that is our Flail Flex core profiling, where we mill out the core, we make it a little bit thinner. We have these pads under here because they're basically spacers for the binding. So what that Flail Flex does is it makes the board, really soft and easy to press, really easy to ride. But with the Tri-X glass, it is a little stiffer torsionally, so it still will hold a really good edge and still have that pop. But that's kind of what's really unique about the Name Dropper. So if you're, a park guy that likes to hit more like on the rail end of things, that's the thing is, park's a spectrum. You've got big jumps, you've got rails. If you're more of a rail guy, the Name Dropper's a killer board.
Okay, and then next up at 550, we've got the Process. And the Process is a pretty cool board because it's one of the best boards in the lineup that really crosses that line between park and all mountain. Mark McMorris, he rides this board when he's hitting big air and riding the slope style competitions. And when you see that stuff, yeah, it's park riding, but that's big park riding that actually demands the guts and the shaping and the technology that goes into an all-mountain board. So we're basically, for that extra $20, we're getting a little sturdier core compared to the Name Dropper. It's not doing that Flail Flex, but this board, there's really not much you can say about this board that hasn't already been said.
Yeah, it's just a good, normal, snowboard. It's a twin. It's set back about a ½ inch, but again, with the channel, if you want to be perfectly centered, you can do that. It does come in two different bend options. You do have the Flying V, which is, rocker through the middle, camera into the foot, and then rocker past the feet, or you have Pure Pop. Pure Pop on this versus the Name Dropper will have a little bit more camber to about the ends here, where the Name Dropper just has it through the middle of the board. Tri-X glass, and it doesn't have the milled out core, so it definitely has a lot more snap and a lot more pop than what the Name Dropper has. Also not quite as much as, something like a Blossom or like a Freethinker, so not quite as stiff or as snappy as that.
All right, then jumping up to 610, we got a board that became a instant classic last year. The Blossom. We definitely seen Zeb riding this board a lot. Pretty rad board. We're basically, for that extra couple bucks, we're getting that extra carbon in there, and then we're also jumping up the base in this thing too, right?
Yeah, you're getting the sintered WFO base, which is a higher quality sintered base. So it holds wax better, but it also has wax impregnated into it. So it's just faster, more durable. True twin, centered stance, full camber. Definitely going to be a little bit stiffer than something like the Good Company.
And the cool thing about that too is that it is a little bit higher end park board, and with that extra stiffness and that extra, kick back, this thing's actually going to ride a little bit better outside of the park than your traditional park board. All right, and then jumping up to 630, we've got Danny Davis's Freestyle Killer. This is the Freethinker. So this one definitely, it's not a huge price jump, but we're doing a little bit different with the carbon in this thing.
Jumping up to Freethinker, definitely going to have more carbon in it. So what more carbon does for you is it makes the board a little bit more, has more energy, a little bit more snap, a little bit more liveliness. So this has our carbon highlights. So we run carbon stringers on the bottom of the board that run tip to tail. So it just has more carbon on the bottom, but anytime you take fiberglass out and add carbon, it's going to get lighter and just a little bit more energy, a little bit more pop, a little more snap than what a standard like triax with carbon I-beams would have. And this board, a little deeper side cut. Definitely, this is, I'd say, probably one of the best jumping boards in our line. So if you're in that park, you're kind of going fast, going big, like big jumps, want something that's going to hold a really good edge.
So this is a great board for that guy who says, like, I'm only going to have one board. I'm going to spend most of my time riding the park, but I want something that can handle things outside of the park. This is 100% a model that can do everything. All right, well, thanks for checking out the park ladder for the 22-23 lineup of Burton snowboards. If you got any questions about any of the park boards we talked about in this video or any of the Burton stuff, definitely leave some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. Want to make sure we get you into some rad gear, but most importantly, we want to make sure it's actually going to fit you and your riding style. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, definitely get that notification bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos drop. Grab yourself a new park board from Burton and get out and ride, because any day of riding is a good day of riding.
Yeah.
Yay!
Hey,
Oh, yeah, this is over here.